What's up everyone, MegaMedNG here, and we're back with another Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. Today's opponent is Luca, and I do know he's a YouTuber, but I can't find out who he's based off from, so if I ever do find out, I'll post a link in the description. Either way, this battle is going to be really interesting to say. Well, it's not because of the fact that it was a good battle, but just watch. I start the battle off with my trusty Mienshao. He sends out Hitmonchan, and I'm like, a Hitmonchan in battle? This is new. So I start things off with a Fake Out. The Fake Out did some damage, but it turned out it had Inner Focus, which prevents flinching, and oh my god, this is bad news. So I go for the Drain Punch after he hit me badly with that Sky Uppercut. That hurt like heck. It didn't really matter though, because thanks to the Drain Punch and the Shell Bell, I got some much deserved HP back. But he goes again for another Sky Uppercut, and I'm like, oh my god, is this the end? Yo, yeah, it is the end, because Mienshao went down. Oh my god. Anyway, I send down Ninetales, hopefully, to finish off that Hitmonchan, and I go for the Energy Ball, which I should have went for the Flamethrower instead, but that personally was my mistake. He goes for another Sky Uppercut, and I'm wondering to myself, is that thing Choice Banded? Because if it is, then I really would be in trouble. This time I go for the Flamethrower, and Hitmonchan, or Rocky, goes down. A nod to Rocky Balboa, if you put it that way. And he sends out Goodra, and I'm like, oh dear god, Goodra? This can't be good, because Goodras are best known to be heavily defensive in the special department. So I went for the Mawile and kicked in the Intimidate because I had to do something fast, but it instead goes for the Rain Dance. And I'm asking myself, why Rain Dance? Though normally I had no idea at first, but that's when I realized when he switched, that's when, yeah, it would be the beginning of my problems. He sends out Remy, the Dedenne, and this is when my Mawile kicks in, and it's time for Mega Evolution. It now Mega evolves into Mega Mawile. And I start up with Stockpile, and I'm surprised it's faster than Dedenne. But at least I'm boosting up my defenses wise, since it's going to help me out. And he goes for a Thunder. Since Rain Dance is in effect, Thunder will always hit every time, no matter what. Though if I didn't do Stockpile in the first place, it would have done me a lot more trouble. I go for another Stockpile, which is already at 2. And he goes for a Thunder Wave, and that's when I know this is going to put me in serious trouble. Now with the Parahacks kicking in, I'm in danger. I don't really know what to do by this point. And thanks to the Parahacks, I'm screwed. Well, not really, because the move didn't kick in. He goes for another Thunder, and that doesn't really do much damage, but I decide instead to go for a Baton Pass, which is basically the theme of my Mawile. Boost up defenses, and then pass it off to another Pokemon. Which in this case, I summon my Gengar. And the rain finally stopped, and thank goodness for that. Though I go now for the Sludge Bomb, which does a whole lot of damage to it, and it goes down. Remy, you really put up a heck of a fight, and I don't think that crit was necessary. It really wasn't necessary for it. So he sends out Rise, which is his Glaceon, and I go for the Shadow Ball, and I'm only hoping that I take it down in one hit, but I didn't. Glaceon withstood it like a tank. It goes for an Ice Beam, and then, nuts, it did some damage. I'll go in now for another Shadow Ball, and another Shadow Ball did drain it down further, and it's still going. And now it kicks in with Hail, and I'm pretty much wondering, this Glaceon must have Ice Body. I know it, because if it does have Ice Body, that means it can be more evasive in Hail. And I go for a Sludge Bomb, and that's when I notice it missed. And Glaceon delivers another Ice Beam, and I did survive it, though the Hail ain't gonna last much longer, trust me. I'm down to about 22 HP, and I go for another Sludge Bomb, and I finish him off. I should have went instead for something like a Dazzling Gleam, but nah, I really wasn't taking the battle seriously, but I just wanted to have fun with it, believe me. I take it down, then it sends out Trucy. It sends out the Goodra again, although this time I know exactly what to do. I go for another Sludge Bomb yet again, and it didn't do that much, but he finishes me off with a Dragon Pulse. So much for that. I got taken down easily. Though it got a crit, and I think the crit did matter because if I did use another attack, it would have went down easily. Though I don't know how long it'll last special defense-wise. Anyway, I send out my Ninetales once again. Hopefully this time I can be ready to take it down. And I use a Will-O-Wisp because I thought it was physical, but after learning it was special, I think it was a pretty bad idea. It gets the burn, and then it unleashes an Aqua Tail, which takes it down, despite the fact that it got a burn. Good job, Goodra. You really put up a heck of a fight. And the hail stopped, which now the weather is back to normal. Though I don't know how long that burn's going to have him last. Anyway, I send out my Aegislash right away in defense mode. And I decide to go for like an attack, so I switch to attack mode and use the Shadow Sneak. Most Aegislash would obviously have that, but I'm hoping to change this Aegislash into something that's more unpredictable. And it goes again for another Dragon Pulse, and the Dragon Pulse did a lot of damage. Well, it didn't really do that much because it wasn't that effective. Mostly because it's part steel, so I'm safe with that. Well, at least I don't mind getting hit in the process, so whatever. And it's still surviving, and I'm asking, what? And this time it goes for an Aqua Tail, and the Aqua Tail didn't really do much, but if it didn't have the burn, it would have done a lot more. Though Gudra goes down thanks to Sacred Sword, and, well, you get the idea. And yeah, this Aegislash has leftovers, like I mentioned before. Most of them always have a weakness policy, but not this one. Anyway, I send out the giant, he sends out the Giant Whale of Death. And, oh no, he brings in the Water Spout and takes it down. Note to self, when you want to take on a Giant Whale of Death, think defensively instead. That Giant Whale is just bad news. So I send in my Mega Mawile, and he goes at it again with another Water Spout, and I forgot, this thing's paralyzed. That's not going to do me any good. Ah, well, it doesn't really matter, because it just goes down either way, so, meh. I ain't complaining. I send in Greninja, and I think to myself, I gotta take down this Giant Whale fast and hard, before it does any more damage. I go for a Dark Pulse, changing it to a Dark type, and that really did a lot of damage. It got a crit, so I don't think it really mattered, and it got hit from the Water Spout. Normally it wouldn't work, but not in this case. In this case, it just suffered normal damage as normal. And thanks to Dark Pulse, it became a 2-hit KO. Though if it was weak to the attack, then it would have done a lot more. And he sends out his last Pokemon. He sends out Ampharos, and that's when my worst fear began to realize. His Ampharos just became a Mega Ampharos, though I wonder if it was a good idea to just attack with what it usually should do. And it gets Mold Breaker, which breaks the mold. I go for the Ice Beam, changing it into an Ice type, and I'm hoping that I can take it down in one hit. But alas, I don't. That is the funny part. I don't know how, but it was able to survive that easily. I'm like, wow. Can't believe it withstood all that punishment. Ah well, the battle's almost over. I go for the U-turn and I finish it. That Mega Ampharos really surprised me. It surprised me that it withstood an Ice Beam. That was a great game. I really enjoyed it. Good game. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. Luca, you did awesome. I hope everyone enjoyed this battle. And I gotta say, that team is actually pretty good. It has a lot of potential. I know it has a lot of potential. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. It does mean a lot to me. I want to continue doing these Wi-Fi battles. And remember, these are all for fun. Though if I were to take on some of the more other people, I would have to give it everything I had and more. Okay. Alright, sorry. It's just I'm a bit excited. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next battle. Alright, peace.